Well, that's it. It's over. Mets didn't want to show up today. They got outplayed today. They didn't do anything, and they're going home. That's it. They're taking off their home field as the only team to force a game three, excuse me, and that's it. The season is officially over for the Mets fans that always say the season's over after we lose one game. Well, that's full on true now. So we're going to give our thoughts on this game, on the season, stuff like that. Just, whatever really comes to mind. If you're expecting a full-on rage fest, you can probably wait until our third guest gets here, maybe, or you might just see some, realism. You'll see. But other than that, welcome to our post-game show. The Mets are going home. They have been eliminated from the playoffs, and it's on to the offseason from here. Welcome to Mets Weekly, presented by Empire Sports Media.
On 3-2, Vader. Swings and misses, strike three. He struck him out. 5 Met pitchers combined for the second no-hitter in New York Mets history.
Oh, seeing Diaz on that. Ooh. Okay, that sucks. Okay, whatever. Anyways, for those in the chat right now, I see there's a lot of people in here. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like on whichever stream you're watching. If you're watching on Frank's channel, if you're watching on Andrew's channel, if you're watching on the Mets Weekly channel, make sure to subscribe to the Mets Weekly channel. Subscribe to all 3 of those channels. The links are all in the description down below. So that's it. It's over. The Mets had somewhat of an advantage. They had a few disadvantages, but those disadvantages didn't look like they came with bullpen arms being burned or whatever you're talking about. Joe Musgrove, they've hit pretty well so far in his career, and they didn't do that tonight. 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 5 struck out. Some hard contact, but not enough. And yeah. That was it. 1 hit tonight, and looks like they ran out of gas. And it's kind of felt like that since that whole sweeping of the Cubs. It really has felt like that. Again, we talked about this downward spiral that it seems like it was in, where they still hung on, but the magic just wasn't there. That was here for the first 4-5 months. And you can blame a lot of things, but they only have one thing to blame, and that's themselves. They didn't capitalize on what they had to capitalize on, and it is what it is. But for those Mets fans that are upset, I'm sure we'll be somewhat back next year. I hope we are.
No,
we're not. We're done.
No, we're not. No.
It sucks, but again, anything that happens in the modern day, I don't think this cracks the top 10 for Mets fans. We're used to this type of disappointment. It happens and you move on. Frank will be here in a few minutes.
Yeah, and he will fulfill your rage quota that if you are here for rage, he will give it to you most likely.
Yeah. You kind of just started to see the writing on the wall, I'd say, around the Cubs series. The Braves series came through. It's just kind of like the essay wasn't written.
Frank will be here, guys. Frank's not dead. Frank is fine. We just wanted to. We have this beautiful graphic. We just want to show off this thing only works for 2 people, so Frank will be here. He'll be here in like 5 minutes. Give Frank 5 minutes. He's old. Yes, probably take a poop. He's got it. It's okay.
Yeah, we of course. Yeah, we did make the playoffs. Next year, maybe another wild card. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's. I mean, again, it sucks. We're not happy. We wanted to win, but we didn't win, and that's pretty much it. I'll get the I'll bring in our third here because he's here
He's
and he's
here
ready to
and
go.
he's wired.
And also, I think we all know that we just had one hit tonight, so I don't think anybody needs to see all the information on the screen as
True.
long
There
as
you
it
go.
was really needed for the first 2 games. Frank, how you feeling? It's over.
You don't want to
Ready to
go.
explode?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't want to go out shutout, and you don't want to go out not being able to pitch. I mean, whether we could talk about sweat on ears, we could talk about whatever with ears and things like that. But if you give up 6 runs, no matter how many ears Joe Musgrove has, it doesn't make a difference. Bassett, I didn't think he was terrible, but clearly Buck did not like what he saw. So he gave him the short leash, put a lot of faith in the bullpen, which we knew was a bit of a risk. I mean, we said that with the way they managed the past couple of games and the way they absolutely failed with the bullpen yesterday, we were going to need a pretty long start out of Chris Bassett. If you weren't going to go to DeGrom out of the pen, if you weren't going to go Scherzer the pen, you were going to need Bassett to give you some length. And he didn't get the chance to do that because Buck did have the pretty quick leash on him. But what I will say is that, Carson, you always talk about say no to walks, but don't walk Ha-Sung Kim. It isn't so much a knock on him as it is like, look at the other hitters in this lineup. It sets you up for disaster when you walk him, especially when you're ahead in the count, especially when you have red hot, just scorching hot Trent Grisham right after him. Trent Grisham, I mean, he was a player of this series. Like, they don't do wild card MVPs, but if they did, it's him because he got all the big hits. He made plenty of nice catches out there in center field. And this was a guy that had a bad year all year long. He underachieved. We know he's capable of being a good player. We saw it in the series, but I just think that it was very frustrating that, Bassett was able to get the job done. So you go into Peterson early, and we're like, okay, maybe you're going to Peterson for long relief, but only for 1 inning. And then it's like you're asking Seth Lugo to do 3 innings. You're asking Seth Lugo to pitch on 3rd inning in a row. You're asking Michael Givens for an up down. Like you were asking for punishment when you go with that kind of approach. And eventually, you know what? You put these guys in bad spots. You put Mike Givens in a bad spot. You put Sugar in a bad spot. After making him throw so many extra pitches when he did not need to, you put it out of reach. So whether Musgrove was cheating or not, the pitching, the managing was not going to get the job done.
Again, I think, we can blame as much of the pitching as we want to. But you get 1 hit, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. And we knew that even when they scored 2 runs in the top of that 2nd inning or whatever, I don't even know what it was. You weren't going to win with 2 runs anyway. We knew you weren't going to win with 2 runs. And this is something we've seen with this offense for the past month. They'll have 1 amazing game, 2 good games, and then they'll choose 2 games out of the week to not show up. And that's something that we have seen constantly in this last month of them spiraling and eventually coughing up the division and putting them in this position that they are in right now. And they're going home after 3 playoff games. There's nothing that you really can point a direct finger at. The team did not perform. The pitching, whether it was the hitting, whether it was anything. I'm not here to point fingers because I know that the team just collapsed. They looked good. They battled adversity all year. We were like, when is it going to fall? When were they going to collapse? And it doesn't seem like they were going to do that. They held on. They even tied this series up. They held on. But it just wasn't enough. I think we all knew that this team, again, from the trade deadline, we knew that there you go. We knew that from the trade deadline that this team was not built to compete with the top tier dogs. We knew it wasn't. And if it did, it would happen by probably some miracle. There's a lot of frustration that came out all the way from that trade deadline to now. And hopefully those problems are solved. And hopefully they are. But I currently just looking at this 162 game season and thinking this could have been it, and they squandered it. Frank, Andrew, anything off the top of your head?
Well, now that they are officially eliminated, we can now really start to think, okay, well, what can you do differently in the offseason to have the different outcome? And the thing is that, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, let's just say that the Mets won a game here against the Marlins. They won a game here against the Nationals and what have you. And they did win the division. And they ended up facing whoever. Let's say it's the Padres. You know what I mean? Like, the way they played, I don't think winning the division or not ultimately really would have made that much of a difference. I feel like you were still going to see these same problems. They closed the year cold, and that's something that we always talk about. It depends how you close. If you close the year hot, you're playing really good ball, it'll help carry you in the playoffs. But if you're, backing in cold, your bats are cold, your starting pitching is inconsistent, you're not going to really it's very unlikely that you're going to go far in the postseason. So I think that definitely was it's just you didn't feel too good. No matter if they won the division, they won the division, whoever they matched up with, even if they won today, like, you didn't feel great going forward. I mean, we knew it was going to be an uphill battle just with the way they're formatted. And with that whole approach of, like, you need single after single, you need a bunch of walks, it wasn't enough. I mean, the Padres showed you the power. And I think that the way they were taking all those, stepping out during the at-bats or whatever, and Musgrove was talking trash, the fact that I didn't see any Met step out, chirp, nothing. I mean, like, I just wanted to see them try something, anything, just to show some kind of fight, get the team fired up. We saw nothing. So I don't know if it should be Lindor. I don't know if it should be Alonso, but I want to see somebody in the lineup show a sense of leadership and a sense of rallying the guys and trying to, fight back, because I just didn't see it. I really just didn't see any kind of fight or desire in this team this last game. Whereas the Padres, you see Machado pumping up the crowd and everything, and pumping up the away crowd, So it's just like I didn't like the body language I saw from a lot of these guys. And even Buck was absolutely quiet. Not a word out of his mouth, trying to talk to the players, whatever. So they were just – I didn't like those signs I saw. I just think that they definitely looked flat, and they looked kind of dead. I mean, once it was 4-0, it felt over. And we saw them make so many comebacks throughout the course of the season, but it just didn't feel the same. It really didn't. And, like we talked, whether that's Marte's injury, whatever, it just didn't seem right at all. Did not feel like their night one bit.
A lot to come. Off-season content for those who are Mets fans, those who are not. Make sure to subscribe to our channel.
No hard.
Subscribe to all of us individually. For those Mets fans out here that are watching, content all through the off-season, every day, pretty much. We're going to go freaking crazy in the off-season. So tons of fun stuff to come. So other than that, Mets fans can't have nice things. It's a possibility, man. It's a possibility. Yeah. I think day by day we start to realize that, but
they should. Like, they literally should. I mean, I don't know when we're going to cover this, but the Mets actually have quite a big time amount of free agents. And guys that they could choose to be free agents. Like, for example, just to start off, Carlos Carrasco team option, decline. Gone, see ya. Not worth it. Not worth it, because do or die series, no, not even on the roster. They don't have confidence in him in a do or die scenario. I don't have confidence in him right now. He's old, he's injured, he's on the decline. So at Bassett, did you step up in the big game? No, decline. You eventually it's just like, we got to move on. And if that's what we need to up our offer for Judge and actually have the freedom to do other things like extend Alonso or whatever, do it. Because I'm just so tired of the crap. They really have got to seriously think, like, do we really need all these guys back? Because when it comes down to the nitty gritty, did they help us in the big game? Like these games that they're just so tight. It's a game 7. Do I want Carrasco on this team? Is he going to help me? No. You need somebody that's a little more versatile, younger. Like if Rodon is completely healthy, I said last offseason, if he's completely healthy, sign him. Give me a hard throwing lefty in there. Like, We just come on now.
I completely dozed off there. I thought you said Scherzer's option decline. I was like, what?
No.
What happened? I completely missed. I missed it, and then I heard decline. I'm like, whoa, what?
I mean, the loss of good catcher, Nimmo, like he played well this series for the most part, but it's just like we talked about, you can't have a lineup of the same player. And it's like, I feel like we offensively, we have a ton of Nimmos. So it's just like we got to start really considering some different stuff, some pretty out of the box stuff to just get something different.
I'd want Jake to be the Kershaw, spending his entire career with us. And I understand, the homegrown guys, Nimmo, it's possible, especially with him being a Boris client, it's possible he's gone. I think I've accepted that he's possibly gone. The only exception I'm making is Jake, because Jake is Jake. Robert?
Thank you. Listen, let me say it again. I've been saying it for a week now. I love my Braves fans. You guys are the best. Let's freaking go Braves. I don't care anymore because you guys are the supporters. You're the guys putting money in my pocket.
What this man really be selling out?
Shop.
Bro,
I mean,
y'all just bought him a Bailey T-shirt tomorrow, bro. So I get this man Birch money.
I do want to say,
good man.
I do want to say one thing about like the free agents and everything, and we'll bring up a whole the list of them because Mike Mayer did say something out about it. I think I'm glad that Lugo.
I'm just joking around, Duncan. Listen, the Brave fans have been very supportive. Duncan, if you donate $10, I'll say let's go Mets or whatever team you support. I just follow the money. I mean, let's call it like it is.
This man is
okay. One thing I will say, I'm happy that it's most likely done. He most likely will be gone, and I'm glad that Lugo got to end on a positive note. Pitching in all three of these games, he ended on a positive note. It's been a tough road for him in these last 2 years. But all I can oh my God.
This is the chat.
This guy, this man is,
Yeah, here we go. Look, can we pin this? Can we make
pin this? Just pin this man $10.
Let's put it on a T-shirt. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff, everybody.
Oh man, show that man.
Shout out to everybody in here. There's
a lot of people
watching.
Everybody donated $1.
About 80 watching Frank right now. Shout out to everybody in here. If you're a Mets fan, content every single day. Maybe not tomorrow, but later tomorrow if it is. We'll have our season grades. I guess we can call it a regular season plus 3 games.
Oh, you want me to rip DeGrom and Scherzer? Cool. All right. Give me another out.
But yeah,
something.
Going back to Lugo, because we kind of got distracted.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad that he got to end on a positive note, Lugo, because it's been a tough road for him in these last 2-3-ish years. And he's had a tough season to start off, and then he kind of picked himself up a little bit, so I'm glad. He's been through a lot of the tough seasons, and I do want to. I really do want to. I do want to thank Lugo. I really do, because he's been through, the whole post 2015 to now. He's one of our homegrown guys, and because we're all talking about DeGrom and Nimmo of the homegrown, and Lugo. Even though it's kind of the brakes have kind of fallen off, but I wish him success wherever he goes. I really do. Yeah.
I mean, it's a fair critique. It still eludes him. I mean, no matter what team it is, still eludes him. And like I said, throughout the whole series, he made plenty of mistakes. There definitely were plenty of mistakes that he made. But like we talk about, like everybody deserves blame. Like nobody is safe here. Hitting, pitching, manager, general manager, like everybody deserves a part of the blame. When you lose 6-0 like this, you lose 7-3 the first game, whatever it was, like everybody deserves the blame.
Yeah, and listen, you should. I'm telling you, you should. And that's just how competitive the sports world is.
Yeah.
And
this bothered me the most. This bothered me the most. That now is when we're experimenting, and you legitimately were like playing Darren Ruff and things like that. It's crazy. It's actually crazy about it.
Yeah. One thing about there's one little thing that pissed me the fuck off. Game didn't matter. It was ninth inning. Which again keeps my Nito. Why the fuck is Tomas Nito hitting the ninth inning when Josh Hader's in the game? Send Alvarez up.
Yeah, just
send him up.
Like, exactly.
That's fair.
Like the game was over. The game was over.
Mm-hmm.
We know what Tomas Nito is going to do against Josh Hader. We know what's coming. If give me at least the kid to get his first big league, first postseason, just give me Alvarez or hell. You know what? Why is Darren Ruff not in the game? That's why he's on this goddamn roster. He kills Josh Hader. Why is he not hitting in that situation? There's your rage for me for the 5 minutes, for 5 seconds. That just pissed me off.
Here's a question I have. We talked about it yesterday, but in all seriousness, James McCann was not used. Nope. So I have a question. Would you consider? I don't know if they're allowed to do this with the CBAs, whatever. Can you go $1 million a year for the next 10 years to make
you can you cut him
and just say go away and we'll use that $9 million for a reliever or something? I mean, is that allowed with the provision?
It's $24 million left, right?
Yeah, that's okay. So I mean, whatever it is, like
$1 million for the next 24. So another Bobby Bonilla.
A Bonilla contract to make chicken tax.
I don't know, chicken too many to make it obvious, but something. You know what I mean? Like
chicken tax? No way. No.
But I mean, think about it. Like, are you just gonna give him, because it's still gonna be attached to them if they just give it to him now and let him go, like with Cano, like they're still in charge of it.
Yeah.
So is there a better way to stretch out, even if it's like $5 million for only a few years? I don't know, like just something, because he can't be here next year if you're not going to use him, and nobody's taking them. I would much rather just pay him the money to go away and eat that money than get rid of the contract and lose a young piece with him. You know what I mean? Just to offload that contract.
I mean, I wouldn't mind attaching a Matt Allen to him. Matt Allen hasn't pitched in forever.
All right.
I mean, I will tell you that right now.
I need the McChicken tax. I need those memes.
I'm not 100% betting on that he's not going to be here next year, to be honest, because the Mets hate me, so why not?
No, far from it.
Far from it.
Like, we blew 10.5 games in like a 3-month span. They did that in September. Like,
07 will always be number one. It always will be number one for many, many reasons. Correct.
I mean, correct. Especially with the emergence of Alvarez, like the fact that Alvarez is probably going to be on the roster next year, probably catching, no more babying, enough with the baby stuff. Come on now, let him catch. Nito, he could be the backup catcher. That's fine. That's what he's supposed to be anyway. He's not supposed to start all 3 games from the playoff series. Let Alvarez start and just go from there. Because
I'm letting Alvarez get it. As much as he has proved or hasn't proved so far, I'm letting Alvarez have the starting catcher job. Because what are the alternatives? What are the alternatives?
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Like,
you're going to pay another 30-year-old catcher in the offseason?
Well, like, I was going to say, would you sign Contreras just to DH?
No, I'd get somebody. If I'm gonna get, I'd get a better bat. I would get a better bat. I'm only bringing him into play catcher. If
only
not,
because Contreras could go righty, go lefty, technically give you a third catcher if all those emergencies and things like that. And also, he actually has a little bit of speed at DH compared to so many other DHs. So I don't
Christian,
know.
You're preaching to the choir, and that's pretty been been a 50% of our catchers since Piazza left. I'd say.
Too many table setters.
That's pretty much been this year. Yeah, too many table setters here. There's too many guys that can lead off the game in this lineup. There really is. There's too many.
And listen, the farm system, we knew heading in it needed a lot of work. I mean, that was such a given. I mean,
it's ranked 5th.
It's going to be a process.
It's ranked 5th.
It's going to be a process.
But it's young.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that they're working on it, but before this talent even really steps up, they still have a couple years before those guys are ready, especially ones that they just drafted. I mean,
Yep.
the fact that a few of the guys the Mets drafted immediately went to the top 10, immediately went to the top 5, like that tells you all you need to know about what was already there, prior to the draft.
Investigate Musgrove. I mean, was Musgrove the reason why our pitching gave up 6 runs today?
I mean,
I don't think
how
so,
drastic of an increase in the spin rate was it? Was it like a little bit, or was it a lot in the spin
At
rate
least
compared
plus
to what he's
200
been
on every
doing
pitch.
the year?
At least 150 to 200 on every pitch, I'd say. So that's definitely some concern. But to be honest, I think it's adrenaline, personally. I think it was adrenaline.
But my thing is, like, where was Musgrove's adrenaline like the whole season? Like, now all of a sudden he has it? And it sustained the whole game, the adrenaline?
I don't know. A silent crowd can do wonders for an away pitcher.
I think that a guy like Buck, who has managed for so long, for him to take some of the baseballs and like take them to the side to investigate, I would think a guy that's seen so much would hopefully know something is up. Like, I would want to trust him with how long he's been around, that he would know if something was going on. I'm not saying that there was, but I would just hope. I just have very high expectations for Buck, being a manager as long as he has. He's seen so many different things that he would know if something was up. There's no other reason why he would just grab some baseballs, to the side, especially in the first inning. You know what I mean? Like the first
inning, seem to be touching his ear at all in the game, and that was.
And then the thing is, like, I saw the one clip where when they were about to start the investigation, he was wiping his ear with his sleeve.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know.
Regardless, you give up 6 runs. Other pitchers came in after him. You still sucked. You could have not sucked on game 1, and you wouldn't have to face Joe Musgrove in game 3. Like, there were other ways to avoid this. You could have beat the Cubs and beat the Marlins and never have to see Musgrove. Like, there were ways to avoid this. So, I mean, they did this. They brought this upon themselves. They hurt themselves because they beat teams. They lost teams that they're supposed to beat. Win all these games on paper, easy September schedule, all these different things. Not enough.
You really can just say it how they looked at it in the offseason, how they looked at it in the trade deadline. They had their opportunity. They just didn't finish it. And I mean, we know the offseason, bringing in Marte and bringing in Escobar, Canna, Bassett, and Max. We knew there still was stuff that had to be done. Yeah. And they didn't do it.
The team was anywhere close to perfect. We criticized them the whole year, even when they were winning all those games, even when they just didn't.
They didn't finish the job.
You can still see the weaknesses and the potential flaws that were going to eventually show up when you really face the elite teams in the big spots. So I am curious to see how Bassett would be with a pitch clock, with the way he is shaking off with the pitch com and everything. It wasn't good. And the fact that Bassett was saying, like, oh, New York is so hard. New York is so hard. It's like, I mean, why are you saying that publicly? Like,
yeah, go back to it. Then go back, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know.
BA, if you weren't watching sports before, just stay out.
Stay away. Just stay away. Don't come in. Don't do this.
Get 9 more. I mean, this was just brutal.
I'm definitely going to get a Simmons bond tomorrow. Definitely not.
I mean, it's tough when you have 6 pitches and you're using a pitch clock. I mean,
he has to. He has to be the one with the pitch clock.
I expected Bassett to be a lot better than that. I really did tonight.
Yeah, like I said, like the walks. That's the one thing that I was like, Bassett doesn't walk people like this.
He doesn't walk many.
I saw Kim twice walking back-to-back batters, and then I love they walk the bases low to face Nola. Nola comes through, and then when Grisham got there, it's like, oh, why didn't they walk Grisham with first base over to face Nola? It's like, did you just see him get a hit earlier, Eduardo Perez? Like, can you just shut up? I'm just saying one thing. At least I don't have to hear Eduardo Perez for another
I wouldn't say there wasn't much hard hitting, but like walks are walks. Those are just that's what happens.
Put extra base guys on because there's that like Nola was just barely.
You gave them the opportunity. So is it luck at the end of the day? Probably not. I'll tell you right now.
What was the XBA battle? Because there were some hard hits. I mean, Alonso hit one hard.
Padres won it.
The Padres
won it.
Okay. Yeah, because it felt like there were some hard hit balls.
That's just hit probability. I mean, if you're looking at the exit velocity, I'd say that the Mets probably had a little bit higher but it's just basically just how it was all placed with no fielders.
This was a huge play. How about Juan Soto dropping down a freaking bunt? Like,
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Working out. And you see the Padres stealing bases. Like, wow, stealing bases.
Call time.
Such a thing.
Calling time.
Over
and over again, man.
I that has to be a limit. I think it's part of the.
It will be
next year, but oh my god, that was just insane.
But yeah,
that's okay.
And it's like, this is the little things that we want, and we can't even get it.
I did promise that. Sorry, boys.
I mean, he was better than Babe Ruth because Babe Ruth don't play center field like that. I watched Babe Ruth. He does not run down ball in center field like that. So,
he ain't got them wheels like that.
Oh my. Nobody said Padres are scrubs. Like, we know San Diego's a good team.
No, that's a good team.
That's
a good team. They're built to win.
No.
They're built to win.
They played really well. Like, they did nothing wrong. Like, they didn't make a single mistake.
They're built to win, and that's without Tatis.
On the bases. I didn't see anything crazy managing-wise. Like, they played a great series. I can't take anything from San Diego. They played very well.
Okay. Off topic, but still on topic. What do I do with the Gresham hater ball over there? Do I just give that, bury that? Do I just burn that? What do I do with that?
Well, I mean, with the run Trent Grisham's on, when he wins, NLCS MVP, it's going to be worth something. So you may want to hold on to it.
I even tried the jinx to Josh Hader, and that didn't even work.
All right, so for the Mets fans in the chat, maybe non-Mets fans, if you're the Mets, all of these free agents, and I'm going to list every single one of them off, and there's a lot of them.
Just pull up the tweet that hasn't Frank put it in the group chat, so you don't have to
That's
read
too
it.
much. Whatever. Okay.
Oh,
Brandon Nimmo, Edwin Diaz, Seth Lugo, Jacob deGrom when he opts out, club option for Carlos Carrasco, mutual option for Chris Bassett, Trevor May, player option for Taiwan Walker, Adam Ottavino, Trevor Williams, Michael Gibbons. The number one priority to bring back of all of our free agents, if you're the Mets, who are you bringing back? Number one priority. Let us know.
Is that okay? That was a question to us. Okay.
In the chat, and we'll also answer this.
Here's one thing I want to say, because you mentioned Kershaw earlier, Carson, and it's like Kershaw, greatest pitcher of our generation, you'd say, right?
Up there, him or Verlander. Take your pick.
Yeah. You can take your pick. So Kershaw is making $17 million this year. He's older, don't get me wrong, but it's just crazy to me. Like, the Dodgers have that big payroll, and it's like Kershaw's making 17, and we're gonna give DeGrom 50. Verlander ain't making 50. He's not making close to that.
Kershaw's not at the top of his game though. Now.
But what about
he's still good?
Like, Verlander,
he's still good, but he's not the ace of all aces that he used to be. But
the thing
Kershaw
is that,
will definitely get paid next year.
DeGrom is only going to get worse. I think that's something we just said. Look at his age. He's not going to match what he did in the Cy Young years. You'll never see that again. He's not going to be ERA under 2. That's not happening.
And you're already seeing it the last 3 starts.
And he had so many injuries even just this year alone.
I wouldn't count against that yet. I'm going to tell you right now. And there's a few reasons why, and I won't get into it right now. Kershaw's 34. Yeah, they're the same age. That's the crazy part about it. Kershaw
has way more innings on his arm.
He has. Oh yeah, he's got a lot more mileage.
And he has the postseason innings as well.
Yeah. So, they relied a lot on experience though this year. This Mets team and fell short. We getting Judge. I wouldn't bank on it. I would not bank on it, but it's possible they could.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're going to have to – I mean, I'm just curious. Like, the thing is, though, is that they said Eric Chavez's approach, like his mindset, is this. Like, the grind at bats, walks, singles. So it's like, are you actually going to just completely change and be like, let's get a bunch of sluggers in here, a bunch of home run hitters? Do we fire our hitting coach then and get somebody who agrees with that philosophy? Like, I don't know. Like, are we just going to, in the span of a year –
I don't think
change the way we go.
I think Chavez is. I think it's more if you want to get rid of Chavez, I think it's more of just it's a recency bias thing because of how it kind of fell off.
Yeah, and the
But,
thing
like-
is that I have nothing against Chavez. Like, no matter who the head coach is, like, that's who Nimmo is, that's who Canna is, that's who, you know, so many of these guys are. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're looking for walks. They're looking for singles. Like, McNeil's a singles hitter. That's just what he is. Like, that's just what these guys are on. No matter what coach, what head coach you have, that's how they are. So,
I think just it kind of being fresh in our minds right now, it's kind of hard to say what you would finally do this offseason and do specifically to build 26 players that can be a World Series contention. I know everybody has their instant thoughts, but you'll have some time to think about what you actually would want to see this team do, because DeGrom gives up a run. Get rid of DeGrom. Nimmo grounds into a double play. Get rid of Nimmo. It's just you have more time to think about that. But
I think the one guy I'm the most confident is going to stay is DeGrom. That's the guy I'm most confident. The guy I'm the least confident in is probably Nimmo or Diaz. Nimmo because the Boris thing. Diaz because he's a reliever. And it's just so tough. Diaz is probably the toughest one to figure out because I said it last night, but he gave us such an amazing year, historic year. We wouldn't get the 101 wins if we didn't have him. But in games like this, when you're down 6-0 and your starting pitcher struggles, it's like, man, I wish we could spend that money on a bat. I guess bullpen. You would hope, but one of your guys in house going to do it? Not really. But you just hope you can find, like I said, like we said with Cleveland and Tampa, I wish we had an organization like that where a bunch of no names and everybody could just shut you down, so that you don't have to give up so much money into a reliever. You just have a bunch of young arms that just rotate through and have a bunch of different guys you could use. It would just be such a better, format. You could just pay the money to the hitters. So it's tough.
Listen, I mean, you can tell by you can do whatever you want with body language or anything, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think they just told you specifically that they want.
And you guys are giving $20 million to a guy that's about to be 40 and Charlie Morton. But other than that, I do agree. The Braves have done an amazing job with their approach. Locking up their young.
And what do you mean? He's going to the Braves, so you're the dumbass. He's going to your team, dumbass.
That's right. All the DeGroms to the Braves chats that we've gotten. That's true.
You're about to pay him $45 million.
The Braves are not who I'm scared of getting DeGrom. The Braves are not the team I'm scared of getting DeGrom.
The Dodgers choke everything. The Braves are the more terrifying.
The team that is getting rid of a Bauer contract.
And they'll still find a way to lose in the NLCS. That's not the scary team. The scary team is the one in Georgia.
Hey, hop off dick. Thanks.
Nah.
All right. The Mets' biggest problem is the Braves. I mean, it has been since the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Since they moved into this damn division.
Absolutely not.
No.
No
one in this bullpen, please come back.
He makes his comeback as a Fortnite streamer. That's what he does.
Yeah.
I think the way I look at it is that when it comes to Nimmo and Diaz, you'd like to keep them, but I think both of them have a limit. Like we said, if Diaz gets into like the 30 million range, you can do it. Like as when you want to.
What did you just say?
That's what I'm saying. You can't do it. If it just, you never know. Somebody could be dumb. We've seen dumb stuff happen. Like the Colorado Rockies exist. Like there could be somebody that's dumb. Texas could do it. Like I don't know. Anything is possible. And same with Nimmo. If Nimmo got 30 million, no, I'm sorry. We have so many guys that can lead off.
This man literally.
I think the overpay to Nimmo would probably be like 25.
Yeah.
26. That would be the overpay because you're gonna have to overpay.
Yeah. Let's just trade for Alcantara. No problem.
Facts, dude. Miami. They traded Stanton for a box of peanuts, and Yelich for a box of peanuts.
Can you imagine Colorado doing something crazy?
Who knows with them? They're dumb.
Yeah. I mean, listen. When you pay Chris Bryant all that money, like, are you going to compete or not?
Or are you just being stupid? You could see it both ways.
Both.
They're just trying to put asses in seats.
But if there was to be one, it would be Gallen. But I mean, we need him, but we're not getting him.
Where's he playing?
My top guy, DH. I don't care. Or you could trade McNeil like you guys always wanted to, and make.
Please, I mean, give me a guy that can actually.
I mean, he didn't show up today. Screw him.
Yeah,
and the first game, he only had that one hit
That means okay.
batting
Listen,
title for nothing.
He didn't get a hit today, so
we
he
might as
never
well get
gets
rid of
hits.
Marte while we're at it as well.
He didn't get a hit today, McNeil. Okay, so he never gets hits.
Never gets hits. 100%.
I don't know if Mets therapy can happen. I mean, I've seen a lot of.
This is what this is.
Call-ins, but
yeah,
I think Brian had like a couple more. It was pretty close though.
No, I think they might actually have the same amount of homers. 4, 5.
I think Brian had like at least 5 or 7 or something like that.
Brian took a while to hit a homer.
He took a wild homer, and he was hurt the rest of the time.
Like
which sucks because he's in Colorado.
And then
that was.
But hey, let's get on the resurgence bandwagon for Chris Bryant, right? Why not?
Hey.
He can't be worse, right?
Hey, he can't be worse than McCann. Winter meetings in San Diego. Nice. Maybe I'll take a. Wait, when is that? I might take a trip up there.
I think Bassett probably the most likely.
Listen,
Carrasco had nothing to do with Walker. We know the limitations. We know that. Yeah. We know that it could be a scary time. Anytime he's on the mound, the blow up is always.
What is this Lindor for Jimenez? Like, he had a better year than Jimenez still. I don't care. Like, I don't understand this shit.
Well, guess what?
They both equally.
Hey, Shane Barkley, guess what? Goodbye.
Hey, what happened?
What happened now?
Oh no, Frank's banning people now. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh well.
What'd he say?
Jeez.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What did he do now? Frank's
Right.
just not in the mood. There's 220 combined people here. Drop a like, subscribe wherever channel you're watching this, and if you're watching go to the other 2 channels and drop a like and subscribe to their channels too. Do that. Please.
No, would you move McGill for something, anything?
Yes. I mean, you're not going to get much, but.
But I mean, the thing is, if you are letting Carrasco walk, Walker go, maybe even Bassett, like I think McGill has to step into that rotation. I mean, who else are you really going to have? That's the problem.
Jose Buda.
I mean, if they do let Trevor Williams walk, which again he's not going to be a high priority, but like, I will say one thing: you got to find other guys who can do what he did.
What's that?
Who's Portugal?
Dork is not clutch. I mean,
dude, is that
best high leverage hitters? I mean, I don't tell you, man.
Bring back Thor, absolutely.
I'd say
he's
to be
done,
a 7-win player in the first year of your contract, I'd say it was a success individually for him. But we just, it all becomes a big success once you win the World Series. But again, people are saying fire Epler.
I was gonna say, I think with the fact that there's gonna be a president search, what if like the president comes in and is like,
I think they have to wait until the president's search and they figure something out.
Which again, I hope doesn't take forever because it's gonna affect your free agency. Like you can't pounce early. You're like, oh, is our new president gonna like these guys or not? What if they like somebody else? So I don't want us to.
I think the image has cleared up a little bit. To be honest, I think
the playoff appearance does somewhat, but still,
we haven't really had any. Have we had any like front office blunders this year, or like any like major
scandals?
Stupidities? Like scandals?
I think
like 0 days since our last.
My man Dave, there's the guy.
What's up, Dave? The man with the money.
The man that has the same name as a minion. What's up?
Are the Mets a young team? We used to say that, but not really.
They are.
They are the. Wait a minute! I just realized something.
They're middle.
The Mets, you're gonna laugh. No. The Mets are the Pittsburgh Penguins of the Major League Baseball, except without the rings. Choking in the first round, old as shit. They're the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Great comparison, dumbass. Yeah, sorry, I'm pissed off.
At least the Penguins have rings.
They're just choking everything.
Thor, that's a Dutch. I love.
Wait, who said it?
Christopher,
why are we talking about Noah Syndergaard? Who cares?
No, somebody mentioned him, but his just on a very downward trajectory.
Yeah, no thanks. Like
he's
cooked.
He's not who he used to be.
So. You only bring Syndergaard in if you like pulled pork.
They took a chance offering him $19 million. He turned it up, turned it down. You're not getting anything more than that. You pitched 2 innings the last 2 years. I mean,
and you got 20
fun in LA. Now you're in Philly. Now eat shit.
I mean, they're in the
TS. They didn't do enough. There's no question.
They didn't do enough. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. I hope it won't be another 20 years till we get another 100 years. But you know what? Listen, I'll take like whatever all these other teams did. Not 100 wins and actually go somewhere in the playoffs. I'm fine with that. but don't give me 101 wins and go out in the wild card round.
Yep.
I mean, unbelievable.
Oh, the Brewers.
Wow.
I don't know if
that's an interesting one. I don't know where you're going to put Tatis, I guess, in the outfield, but.
No, make him the
No.
DH. Make him the DH.
Not by Fernando.
That's an interesting one.
We
I
can
mean,
have
he's peak
Bellinger.
trade with-
No, thanks.
No, I mean, I do wonder about Alonso in the big game, though, because it just always
Alonso
puts so much
wasn't-
pressure on him.
Alonso got a hit in every game. I mean, he looked alive.
He was the only. Hey, thank you to Pete Alonso. We would be reacting to a completely different type of big game if he didn't exist tonight. So
Alonso had a good season. I wouldn't say he was horrible in the postseason, but
He
I wouldn't say
wasn't.
he
He
was
wasn't good enough. I mean, the thing is,
He
the way
wasn't
they
good
were
enough.
assembled, they needed him to be
Yeah, I mean,
amazing. and
they
he wasn't
needed him
amazing,
to
so
be.
that's
They
it.
needed him to go on like a Jocktober type of thing. Like we needed that from him.
Well, yeah, that was the thing that was
weren't gonna get it.
frustrating is that like you saw Trent Grisham, a guy who didn't have a great regular season, have an amazing playoffs. We didn't have that. We didn't have
we
any
didn't,
like
no.
unexpected hero that actually did something big for us. And that's also partly because like we talked about, we're not going to use anybody else. Like Guillermo didn't play at all. We're not going to use like. Did anybody on the bench play today?
no, yeah, it was the 9 guys.
Nobody.
Nobody came in.
That's how bad the bench is. In an elimination game, you can't use a single one of them. That is how bad this bench is. How bad? Disgusting.
Again,
We did
they
have
did
to win one
themselves.
game against the Braves.
But again, the thing is that like
It always seems
the
like
way
we're
this-
one game short.
again the way this team played, it's like even if we're just waiting 5 extra days to lose anyway. It seems.
Yeah.
Alonso, yeah, I mean, I think Alonso was fine, but he wasn't good enough. Is most of it his fault? No.
No.
Just kind of how this team is just assembled. But I don't know. Major changes have to be made. They definitely do have to be made because we saw a lot of holes in this roster. We really did.
I'd rather have Joey Gallo than Tyler Naquin.
Yeah.
Boom,
Look-
Dave.
Hey, Dave with a
is the
sticker.
man.
Atta boy,
is the
Dave.
man.
Is it a minion sticker? Because Dave, if it's not a minion sticker, you're missing an opportunity right there.
Dave, you robbing a bank? Let us know.
Yo, fact.
Yeah.
If you need help, we help you out.
You're not burning us, right? You're not just giving us fraud money that's going to come back to haunt me in the future.
No, that's the
Oh, man.
McChicken deferral money right there.
Yeah,
It's helping them
no,
out.
I mean, Dave, could you send that money to? Like,
This
get
is
rid of
this is helping Frank pay for his old man medication. So this is
Old
good,
man
guys.
medication.
Golly, ugh.
Take 10 years off your age.
He was
Make
missed
it-
by the Syracuse Mets.
Jesus
He was
Christ.
missed by
No one.
Like for Alonso, the thing is that if nobody's on base anyway, like Alonso couldn't even do too much. Horrible.
Yeah.
Like Musgrove said,
Horrible.
rage, humiliation, frustration, all that stuff.
I'm numb.
Andrew likes to play video games and watch wrestling. I like to play video games, watch
and
wrestling.
hockey.
And
Yeah.
Carson likes to be a nerd on the computer. That's all.
Pretty
you need
much.
to know.
Pretty
Here's
much.
something people don't know about me. I
Do
downside.
we want to know this?
Oh, I almost said something. You're lucky I didn't.
in my free time I die inside. That's what I do.
I mean, maybe. I mean, will Stearns leave? Milwaukee could sell. Like they had.
They gotta blow. Yeah, they somewhat have to blow it up a little bit because
Yeah.
they're just mediocrity at its
I'm
finest.
sure they'll at least be listening. The fact that they traded Hader during the season, like they gotta be at least listening on one or both of them throughout the course of the year.
They personally, I will tell you right now, they didn't need Hater. They needed
Yeah.
bats. That's
And
what
that was
they needed.
that was a money move. They didn't want to pay him.
They
the
did
arbitration
not need
fees.
Hater. Devin
Yeah.
Williams is better than him. Shh, don't tell him.
It's gonna cost more than Lindor.
Oh yeah.
As far as AAV, for sure. I mean, you have to take into consideration Judge is older than Lindor,
Mhm.
so the contract shouldn't be as long. But I'm thinking it has to be
Yeah,
at least 40
listen.
AAV minimum, right?
It was a different game, but the point does stand. It does. But
Fine.
there was a lot of other things that got in Strawberry's way. Let's say that.
Yeah, I don't think Cohen needs to overspend, but I do think he needs to. Like I said this earlier, but I'd be curious to see a different approach of like let a lot of these guys walk, and again, just find that hidden talent. Like instead of giving a lot of money to like 2 guys, how about giving a lot of money to like a bunch of guys? I mean, that's something that I think is worth considering that approach.
They should get there. They should get a headline move, and then
Yeah, I mean, but like we talked about, you're going to need a brand new bullpen. You need a new bench. You need a lot of good stuff.
Spending.
You still need a DH. Like you still
spending-
plenty of
The
things you
thing
need.
is that we kind of knew. I think if you saw our Braves,
The
stream
writing was
from
on the
last
wall
weekend,
for
if
a
you
few
saw our
weeks.
Braves stream last week, like that's what it felt like we were eliminated because it just felt that
Yeah.
even if we did make it, I just didn't see them going far. I mean,
And I will tell you, being a Mets fan helps. No, you
Helps
experience a lot of
pain.
pain as a Mets fan. I
Yeah.
mean, it happens. It's a franchise that has let us down many times, but we still love them to the day we die. Hopefully,
Some of us sooner than
no,
later.
I mean, they still gave a lot of money to Max, and they gave a lot of money to Marte. I mean,
They
again,
did.
they did a little bit for Escobar, who not everybody was crazy about. They gave a little bit to Canna. He played perfectly fine, but
I think the
this
problems
was a
that we
huge
saw,
fail, so.
and this is the benefit of the doubt I'm
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah,
He
not
signed
anymore.
an
Problems.
Yeah, he did.
I think the problems that we saw, and this is just the benefit of the doubt I'm kind of giving here, is
Hell no.
we're seeing problems that an actual baseball organization goes through, right? Of this type of stuff with the roster and these options and things like that, money, whatever. Before this new regime came in, we were dealing with problems that weren't what an ordinary front office or organization was going through.
Frank didn't even want to explain. Just no. No, yeah,
Um,
that's a no. Yeah, it's a no, but it's like Frank's like,
No,
nope, it's off.
Mets fans are strong individuals. Most of
We
them
all
are
have.
assholes
Okay,
now,
don't say that
but
either. Don't
No,
say
but yeah,
that
I
either.
mean, I think everybody's got
we've
bad.
been through a lot of bullets. I can tell you that.
No, but the thing is that like the Mets have some young talent, but as far as pitching,
Nothing.
we got nothing. There is nothing on the way. I mean, like
still have
maybe,
Yohan
like
Lopez
maybe
on
Josh
swing there.
Walker, but like
It's all bats. There's no
Yeah.
arms.
and again,
Well,
like,
if Matt
high-end
Allen, whatever
talent.
whatever Matt
and
Allen
Kumar-
decides
the
to play
whole
for.
Kumar Rocker
There-
thing didn't happen.
There's no high-end talent.
No. And the thing is, like, we called up Alvarez, we called up Beatty, we called up Vientos. So the only like big pieces we got that are like kind of close would be Mauricio. He's the next closest, I think, right? Because all the other guys we just drafted.
Listen, y'all did this back in the 90s. We're used to it, all right? Always. All right? This is the nature of the Braves, but props to the Braves. Let's get the spam out of here.
Damn, almost an hour in.
It took 52 minutes.
See, all it took was Braves. See, the Braves fans attracted all the porn stars. They're all
our
made
Braves
fun.
fans are our biggest supporters. Shut up.
What they brought them,
There's
they
nothing
brought you
bad I
love.
can really say about the
Exactly.
Braves. I mean,
Yeah, I guess
there's
depends
nothing
who
bad I can
your
say.
top,
Do I hate the Braves? Of course, but I'm always gonna hate them.
Do I want a nuclear bomb to go off in the Phillies Braves series? Yeah.
I can't judge them. They made the moves they needed to make, and
you score
they're
1 run and you
won
score
the division.
0 runs. Gosman ain't doing nothing for you.
Exactly.
Gosman can't swing a bat.
Even though he did do a
I
gem
can
against
tell you
Seattle.
right now, I'll hate the Braves. I'll hate the Phillies. None of that will be as much as I hate the Mets. Tell you that.
Facts.
I'll always hate the Mets for doing this to me every year, but you know what?
Cheating lab. That's
They
why.
just have
Hey,
a great
listen.
organization.
Cohen ain't swinging the bat. All right, the team still has to perform. All right.
And I mean, listen, he put whoever, whether it was Sandy or Billy, they said, okay, Steve, these are the guys we really need. This is what it's going to cost. He said, okay, get them. And that was it. I mean,
he's got a day job. So
I think so much of it goes back to we knew going into the year, like they legitimately said, okay, we are going to start Cano. And if it's not Cano, it's going to be Dom and JD Davis. And they went to the season. And we had that concern before the year even started. We said, you know what? At least a Kyle Schwarber or just somebody else that isn't Robinson Cano in the middle of the order to power protect Pete. We said before the season started, we said the whole season long, and then you get Vogelback and Darren. And Vogelback is not even a power. He's another guy like the rest of these guys is looking to draw walks before hits. He's a walk first, hit second kind of guy. And even if he does hit, I mean, for a guy his size, he doesn't hit a lot of home runs. He's the weirdest hitter you'll ever see.
It's the weirdest big man you've ever met.
Yeah.
Just admit we're a better team. You are.
You
You're
are.
talking about the
We agree
Braves?
with that. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, they are the better team.
whoa,
They won the World
Are we
Series
sure?
last year.
Whoa, are we sure
Won the
Seth Lugo
Braves
said
this
we were
year.
better? Seth Lugo said we were better. Are we sure about that?
I don't know.
Okay, Lugo ain't swinging the bat either, so not
Exactly.
Not
And Lugo.
now, listen. If you want a guy that may fight if they're actually talking trash,
Oh, yes.
I
Please.
mean,
Send Eduardo Escobar on the rocket jet and go give him third base.
Escobar becomes utility guy.
I'll put him on the bench. That's actually an actual decent bench piece.
I wouldn't hate it. I don't know if they want to have a bias 2.0, have another villain, him and Lindor go buddy, alienates him away from the rest of the team. I don't know if they want to go down that road again. Probably not, but I would consider it.
Okay, and there's Frank again dealing with the friggin' relationships in the locker room. I want talent. I don't care about relationships.
Listen, Lindor and Alonso were both going to finish like top 10 MVP, so we have good players. Our good players didn't step up. It's very simple.
A la the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh, the two best MVP candidates went 0 for 18, it seemed like. Or whatever, 0 for 9, whatever.
I agree. I mean, no doubt. No, this is a true statement. Oh, there we go. Ex-Oakland, not
Absolutely.
not
No.
impressive.
Get out.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Respect Oakland. They don't have much respect for themselves. Respect some of the guys came out.
Don't worry about his win-loss record playing from the organization he came from. They were brutal. I hope a lot.
That's what this channel will be for. So we'll give you plenty of options. We'll give you the trades, the free agents, the guys you shouldn't expect, the guys you could expect.
I mean,
me doing dumb shit.
He does have the big hits and the big moments. He does have
a lot of the big dingers in the playoffs. Big fat nukes.
Well, it's not that the Padres can't afford that big three. It's the fact that Soto will most likely go to free agency as a Boris client.
Oh yeah, he's definitely testing. He's going to get more than whatever.
I mean, you basically sell your I wouldn't say you sell your soul for Boris, but
you sell your soul for Boris.
Red Horse, settle down. What are you trying?
What's wrong with that?
Dude,
he's saying Correa's got all the big dingers. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
The Nationals weren't giving us those guys, so yeah. Not just brutal. Absolutely brutal.
So at minimum,
and you know what? Like I thought stranding a bunch of runners like Fenway Risp was bad enough, but just only getting one hit was much worse.
Oh yeah.
That was just terrible.
And is it me or did this game feel like so fast? Like it was over.
Well, when you're getting no hits, it tends to speed up.
It just was like, all right, the pain's over fast.
As came out of the game and they weren't stepping out twice per at bat, it sped up greatly. You know, and Scherzer certainly failed. I mean, definitely didn't get the job done. I expected a lot more out of it, especially in the big game. Like, the best start against the Braves was one thing, but when it came postseason time, I said, okay, Max is going to get it done. And he didn't. So
I trust that Jake and Max, if they both are coming back, we know one of them is coming back, but I trust that they will get in that
older
position to get their type of get their to get back into the groove. I'm not.
I was gonna say it's his song, so whether they're winning or losing, like the song's gonna play. The fans need something to get into. It might be the last time they ever hear it. I'm sorry, but it might be the last time they ever hear it. So they need something to fire them up because the bums on the field were not gonna do it. So they need something to get the energy going
again. And of course, he gives up a crummy hit and allows 2 runs. They're not charged to him, but that's an Edwin Diaz biography for you. Close the book.
No. If you put Pete in San Diego, that would be better for Pete Alonso because he wouldn't be the number 1 option. He'd be the third option.
I mean, for Tatis, like I guess he does have a bad relationship right now with San Diego, but I would rather have the guy that I've seen do well in my uniform for now. Whereas Tatis, we don't know how he's going to be back home from the injury and things like that. And People are going to have this. We just brought in a guy with PDs with Cano. Like, again, I think Tatis was a completely different scenario. That was for recovery. But still, like, this guy coming in just on a really bad note to trade away our guys, our leader right now, homegrown guy, I wouldn't be doing that.
Here's one thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I would say
Here's the thing. There's a golden rule in Mets history. If the Mets could trade Tom Seaver,
they'll
they
trade
can
anybody.
trade anyone.
Yeah,
That's the golden rule. So
different ownership, but
it is a different ownership, but it's the same history that lies. So who knows? No one is off the table as far as I'm concerned.
This is a good point. I mean, development. I mean, we've seen countless guys just leave the Mets and be better elsewhere, particularly on the pitching side. There has not been much development. I mean, has there been a time recently where the Mets got an absolute no name for another team and they actually developed him into a really good player? Doesn't feel that way.
No,
they can't really build their own. I mean, not recently.
No,
not recently. Oh yeah, I certainly thought of that, but then we can't be doing this, so we're kind of stuck. Doesn't feel that way, but
don't watch Mets games.
Well, I'll tell you what, Anthony, we won't watch a Met game for the rest of the year. How about that?
Facts. We'll be able to relax, have an alcoholic beverage for the two of us at least, if we choose, and relax. Sleep calmly. Be all good.
We're not getting Paul Goldschmidt.
No, Goldschmidt's.
No.
Hey, Arenado can opt out
and become a Dodger.
Just become Braves fans. See, this is way too common with people these days.
Dude, we're not racist.
Team. Come on, people.
Yeah, we're not racist.
I mean, listen.
Oh, stop it.
Listen, Sal, if you're talking about us, you know what button I'm going to press. So I'll give you one chance.
Frank has that block finger ready to go.
Jesus Christ.
There's certainly chances. I mean, we've seen them do it plenty of times lately. So
even though
Cleveland, I think he'll just say thank you all the fans that came out for this year. It was a fun year. We didn't go as far as we wanted to. LGM probably with a bunch of grammar mistakes and typos and things like that. And
because he's too rich to type.
I will say one thing. Cohen did learn a lot this year. I really think he did about kind of how Mets fans are. And I think he did learn a lot. He was definitely putting some gas on the fire last year on Twitter. He definitely was.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say...
He did have a damn rough tweet that was like, oh, it was rough with the stupid argument.
The way he's like, oh, okay.
But,
they ain't worth going to see. They're not really, no. They didn't give us much confidence. Why would you go in the cold weather to watch them get their ass kicked? Brutal. All right, well, we'll see you later, Sal. Get out.
Jesus Christ.
Say mean things, you go bye-bye. Simple.
Say mean things.
Say mean things, go to Slammer. Oh man. Epic jobs.
Especially with the new president coming in, I certainly don't think so.
We'll see.
Yeah, we did go down once Keith wasn't there. That was our champion. That was our leader. That's a good one.
No, but Andrew had to shoot him in the leg. Piece of shit.
I didn't shoot him in the leg. I
shot him in the
leg. I don't think the two situations are comparable. It's just
Seaver was still good after.
They threw no hitter.
They threw a few.
They didn't want to. I mean, again, they didn't want to pay him, but
At least we
haven't had many.
How about
guys
that? Yeah, at least that's our glimmer of hope. The football finally improved.
Football and hockey, baby.
Because that was the thing is that what usually happens, the Mets don't make the playoffs, and then the football was unwatchable. So we're just waiting until next year. So I mean, maybe that could carry. And
I have to deal with that torture tomorrow on ESPN. So 4 straight days I got to watch ESPN. So.
Yeah, we got the Knicks, we got hockey, we got football. We good.
Better. They also could have won Game 1. They could have beat they could have beat the Cubs, the Mars, and that.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. They didn't. They're failures.
Put the bat down. You don't know how to use that thing.
I would be really happy, but like other crappy things are gonna happen in my life. But I would like to at least just see one. If I could just see at least one.
Dude, you've seen 2 already. What are you talking about? You've seen them all.
In the 2000s.
It's 2000s, okay. Even though they choked twice in the 2010s.
Maybe one day.
Keep me connected.
Oh well, yeah. Well, this is a different conversation. I mean, if we could get Tatis for Cannon and Escobar, I
mean, where do I sign that check?
Yeah, I mean,
Can we throw McChicken in that trade too? Wait a minute. You know who would take the McCann contract? Colorado. They'll love to take that contract on right away. There's James McCann's new team. Colorado Rockies.
How could you get rid of him?
Brendan Rodgers for James McCann. Who says no?
You know what? No, because they actually made it to the World Series. And you feel like they had a chance. This team, I just didn't feel like we had a chance the way these games were played.
We didn't think that 2015 team had a chance until going up to that trade deadline.
No, I didn't think they had a chance until they were actually in the World Series. That was just me. They can, but they have to eat the contract. So you're trying to find a way to have another team take.
Just the way that lineup just was.
You still have
like
2 more years.
Cespedes came here. It just was a completely different team, you know.
So I love chat. Would you be all right since everyone wants to release McCann? You guys are okay with them at Chicken Tax Day, right? That's what you're pretty much saying. Bonilla Day and McChicken Tax.
It's going to be Happy James McCann Day.
Listen. Do your victory lap, man. We know. We're used to this embarrassment.
Wrong. Okay. Actually, at least if you're going to make fun of us, wrong.
We've had a lot of people do you want this guy? Do you want that guy? If there was one guy, I don't want
Ozuna from the Braves.
It is that guy. No,
no
man belongs in jail. So
no Ozuna from the Braves, please.
Trading Trevor Williams, can't do that. He's a free agent. James McCann, no one wants him.
Right.
Remember Nito trying to bunt
yesterday? Duncan, I'll never forget.
I'll never forget.
I'll never forget. That was brutal.
I don't think this will be burned in my this loss will be burned in my mind that much. I think there's been a lot worse.
Again, come Tuesday, I will probably easily forget.
Maybe. I'll never forget that one either. That was another just brutal one. I mean, Nito had a day yesterday.
I'll be fine with a Raiders Super Bowl ring on me in February, so I'll be fine.
Okay, bud, you're not even gonna win 4 games.
I don't care about your performance. You're a jerk.
He's a loser.
I don't care how good he plays. The man is a
he's got Deshaun Watson baggage.
Domestic violence dummy. I don't want him. Have some character. Have some pride.
I'm pretty sure he also have like a lot of locker room shit and when he was in St. Louis.
No, he just sucked in St. Louis.
They want to get rid of him. So,
he just sucked in St. Louis.
I thought there was something like him and Pham didn't like each other or something.
Oh, it's Tommy Pham.
We could try a lot of things. That doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Again, another wife beater. No thanks.
This is why, we were more frustrated last Sunday than we were this Sunday because we knew it was over there. We saw because it was a postseason preview. The pitchers didn't step up, the lineup didn't step up, and then it was just okay, well, we know how they're going to perform in the big games. And
time to blow everything up. Yeah, it's over.
It's time to get the tank out and blow it up.
To be honest, just blow up Citi Field. It was built on a cursed burial ground. It's just time to move on, folks.
Yeah, bring back Shea.
Bring back Shea. Shea too.
Yeah. That'd be insane. But you know what? You never know, right? I mean, he's only been here for such a short amount of time. They're gonna do something. I mean, right. I would hope that they're not just gonna.
We have 200 people in here. If at least 75% of those 200 people who are in here are not subscribed to the Mets Weekly channel, the Mets will never win anything.
See the numbers.
They'll never win anything, and I'll tell you that. And your favorite team also won't win anything. So for the Braves fans in here, also you can like the stream too. That helps us out.
This is a good
thumbs up for misery. If you like to see the Mets fans miserable,
all my Braves fans, all my Padres fans, Dodgers fans, Yankee fans, all the above.
Listen, our team for the rest of September was doing the chop anyway, so I guess we're part of the Braves family too.
Yeah, no, I mean, Diaz he's not gonna have another year like he did this year. He'll still be good, but not as good as he was this year.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
The
when
thing
you
is-
think about it,
I don't want this to even be a thing. I don't want it to get to that point. Like, can we just, could we just
can we give him an
extend
Austin Riley contract? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I think Pete's a little bit more established than Riley, like because Riley's already. But I don't know.
Mariners.
It's just
Seattle.
it's a different market. It's a different market, different stage. But the Mets don't keep homegrown guys. Doesn't happen much. Really doesn't.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean,
Doesn't happen. Again, Ed Kranepool, David Wright. Both guys have been drafted by the Mets, finished their career as Mets. And to say that David Wright even finished his career is an understatement. So, yeah. Definitely something that I hope that they do with the new regime, but we have not been proven that yet that they will.
Well, we're not going to root for another National League team, so I'm not.
Well, and there really isn't one out there like, oh, they have likable. It's the Dodgers, the Braves, and the Phillies, and the team that beat us.
Rival. I'm not rooting for the team that just eliminated us.
I do like this Cleveland team. They are pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, Cleveland's fun. So
J-Rod's my boy.
the Astros are still cheaters to some people, so you're not allowed to say them.
I would love.
I actually want them to win the whole thing because I like heels.
He is available, but that doesn't mean we should get him. We're gonna get him. So
I mean,
he's available, but no. Are we doing
I mean,
that?
he could give you a better ABs than Darren Ruff. He has at least a couple homers as a Met.
Yeah, that's a good point.
In garbage dimension, City Field.
Yeah,
in big boy dimension.
This is why I would root for Seattle. Like I always root for the team that.
All right. So here's my hot take. First move I'm doing in the offseason, okay? I am bringing the City Field fences in about 30 feet, okay?
This man.
I want more dingers. That's the first thing, right?
That's okay.
Let's build this park for Alonso. Make him want to stay, right? Alonso, 70 homer season incoming. You bring in the fences, and that's it. You know what? Fine. Why not? We want to get petty. Let's get petty. Let's spend all this money, and also let's cheat our way to a World Series because that's the only way to do it, I guess. How does that help the pitchers?
Imagine if this actually happened.
Pitch good, folks.
Oh, he's definitely going to the Braves next year. 100%.
No, but if he actually played amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's definitely happening.
I think it evens out for the pitchers. I can tell you right now, it won't help. It won't help them, but it also won't hurt them because the Mets Stadium is the most pitchers-friendly park in all of baseball. If we were the 15th most hitters-friendly park, I'd take that. But City Field is a freaking mess hall.
I cannot afford. Unless you guys have more donations, then
yeah, you gotta give Frank. Just give Frank a little bit more money, then maybe he'll be there. But
Mets are my team, and they will always be my team. I will always hate them as much as I love them.
We just know pain.
This remains to be seen because so many of these guys are going to be free agents. So next year's bullpen is going to look very different. So we'll see how it looks.
I think, and Andrew can get behind this with me.
Oh,
I think this bullpen's culture is not the best, and that's their problem. And that's
take
the
that word
line.
and shove it up your. I hate that.
For the new people here, he doesn't like the word culture.
It's the stupidest word in sports. It's the most overused and bullshit word.
I think it's going to be a little more than what Hendricks got. I think that's at least the starting point.
It's going to be a lot more.
It's going to be a lot more. But there's your benchmark. Yeah.
I think the years are going to be the more leverage factor for Diaz because he's
culture
so
win. No, culture. No, just winning wins, not culture.
That's a good point.
Yikes.
Oh, I'm so I'm sorry. Matthews deserves to win as much.
At least y'all got Josh Allen. Josh Allen's the
and y'all got Josh Allen.
Well, I'll tell you what. I happen to not be that word. If you've heard my comments about Michelle Margot, you know that is
Excuse
not
me.
true.
We have a lot of websites in our chat telling us if we want to find love or not. Okay,
we're a very loving group. Very loving and
Let's have some explaining to do because I mean, what's annoying is that we said before the year started we didn't like the DH position. We said after the deadline we don't like the DH position. So we said left-hand relief we didn't like before the season started.
Anything he says, people are going to be pissed about.
And he did nothing about it. So that was pretty frustrating.
I think anything Epler says, it's going to get a negative reaction. I mean, what is he going to say? Yeah, this team sucks. Fuck it.
So.
Epler was right about one thing.
Oh, God.
Trevor May looked pretty good for the Mets down the street. I had to.
Can I kick him out and just then let him back in? Like, what is wrong with this guy?
I mean, am I not wrong? Like, you bitch
Trevor
good.
May is still going to the Rays and getting.
Maybe if you ask him nicely, Anthony. I don't know.
Oh.
Chiefs Bills would be a heck of an AFC final.
Yeah, run it back.
Hell yeah.
Or
the Raiders are not making the playoffs. Shut your mouth.
Hey,
too many nice guys.
We have not won.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Lost a game in the last week.
Wait a minute. Mets fans going to live in a world where Daniel Jones is going to be in the playoffs this year and Derek Carr's not. What a world.
You employ Marcell Ozuna. Keep that in mind. And you're proud of it.
Are you sure with that division? It's amazing.
Dude, we're a playoff team.
5-0 Eagles?
Dude, a wild card. I didn't say it was a division. I didn't say it was a division champ.
Cupcake schedule. It's going to be
Hey, you play who's who's on your schedule, baby.
Brian Dayball is going to be having a champagne shower.
Oh,
I'd run through a wall. I will say, for the Giants fans in the chat, your head coach, I'd run through a wall for him. That dude.
I love Dayball.
I love that dude.
Big balls, Dayball, baby.
I wouldn't run through. I'd push Josh McDaniels through a wall.
I mean, the Eagles got to lose a game first.
This isn't
football.
Yeah,
facts. Cooper Rush piss off.
I mean, the Eagles got to lose a game first.
Yeah, Cooper Rush and
question. I still lean Giants.
Giants.
That's still scary. I don't know why.
The NFC East is weaker too, or NFC.
The Jets still have a quarterback.
Conference.
They still need some more work. They're not ready yet. Any other baseball questions? I mean, listen, we can do football if you guys want to.
We could talk about football, but
because for the Mets, it's over. Like,
it's over.
It is
over.
over.
If you guys want to talk basketball, football, whatever.
Anything.
I mean, we're here.
We'll do it all. We'll do some off-season other streams. You know, we'll do all that.
We don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's just
James McCann's an all-star. That's all we cared about.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Anthony. That's a good one. Yep.
Yes,
no, they nailed it with him. They nailed it.
And Daniel Jones is actually playing like an average
quarterback. Their season, like the,
and I think the biggest story of the Giants is the resurgence of Saquon. I mean, we thought he was done. Especially after all these injuries, he's looking. I mean, really solid again.
I didn't think he was going to play.
He's looking so good. The Giants might get a second-round pick for him at the trade deadline. Or if somebody's dumb enough to
exactly.
This is the one. I mean, yeah, I was thrilled they got him. Hopefully, he stays healthy. I mean, listen, if they want to bring in an outfielder and DH Marte just to keep him healthy the whole year, I'm good with that.
He dodged a few bullets.
He has improved enough to be just average.
An average quarterback. Let's go, baby. That's all we wanted.
We don't have any. I mean, no, we don't have much.
We have young ones.
Blade Tidwell in like 4 years, maybe.
Blade Tidwell, Calvin Ziegler, Dom Hamill.
And they're all going to be like relievers, pretty much.
The Grommer free agents, they're not trading Max. So.
Maddox.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a fun series. Dodgers Padres is going to be definitely be watching.
This Nolan Ryan's about to kill me.
I don't see the Seahawks really trying to compete right now.
I don't think Seattle wants them.
Gino's making a run for it.
Dude, Gino going crazy for no reason.
About to win Gino is about to win MVP on a 6-win team.
Dude, yes, sir.
That would be the story of the year.
Dude, if he wins, if he goes to the playoffs and the Broncos,
his A-Rod arc. What happens with Beatty next season? I
don't know.
We'll see. Him and Escobar battle it out in spring training. Whoever has the better spring training wins the job. And then if Beatty is the better player, which he's supposed to be, Escobar becomes utility guy.
Or if Beatty's even on this roster.
Stalling Marte. Easy Stalling Marte. He was just exciting.
This year, Adam Ottavino was my favorite. Actually...
It wasn't Canner or Bassett.
No, I mean I like Canna, but Chase and Shreve.
Shut up.
No, the Rams had a rough game.
They look terrible.
Oh my God. The Rams were rough today.
Dude, Stafford's cooked.
Oof. That was a rough one.
Stafford's
was
arm's so fucked, man.
That was
was
your
rough.
favorite addition to the team. No, that was tough.
If the only
Tough
answer
year.
is Daniel Vogelbach because fat people.
I mean, if he kind of stayed somewhat like the way it was when he first got here, maybe, but it was just such a fall from grace.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
At this point,
It was still Marte. If you were watching all year long, I've been talking about Marte constantly, all year. So
have I held that? The guy with the bat? Have I held this for every video?
No, he's just being weird today.
No, I'm just holding it right now.
no, when he gets
how
very
powerful.
frustrated, he holds.
He
it.
grabs the bat. He goes full Liv Morgan. It's okay. I love it. I can just pop.
Yes, I think if they called them up, I would say so for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely say so. Yeah, no,
I
I
think-
would. That'd be pretty cool if they.
I just hope we answer a lot of questions this offseason. That's what I'm hoping.
Wait,
answer a
chat.
lot
Do you guys want
It's
another
all good,
checklist?
Anthony. We're glad to have new viewers. Don't worry about it. It's all good, bro.
It's all good.
Off-season checklist. That's gonna be like an
Off-season
8-hour
checklist.
video.
8-hour video of just everything.
Check the Mets Weekly channel, and yes, every single week.
Every single week, and
Yeah.
we're gonna be doing every single day too.
So stay tuned to Mets Weekly.
I am working my ass off. We're all
He is working
on
very.
it.
Dude, his ass. If I can put Metsfan over for 2 seconds, I
Oh,
don't
you're
like
talking
doing
about my
this.
ass? Okay.
Yes, I'm talking about your ass and your work ethic. This man's worked so hard. This man's ass looks like Kim Kardashian. That's how hard this man has been working lately. So, give some love to Metsfan in the chat. Stop
Off-season
bullying him on
checklist,
Twitter.
Sell
That's
the
my job.
team.
Again,
That's already been accomplished.
Again?
That's already been done.
Kelly Jensen,
No, I would
not a Mets.
sell it to A-Rod.
Kelly would
Kenley Jansen's.
No, thank
be
you.
so bad as a Met.
That's just a Trevor May
I don't
waiting
know
to happen.
why.
No, thank you.
I could just see it. It's like a
Jansen's an
legendary
overpay.
pitcher comes to the Mets. Awful.
What are you unique?
Yeah.
What kind of emoji is that?
I have no clue.
No,
Working
I
on-
don't know what the comparison was he was going for.
Well, no, because he was saying he's working his ass off. So
No,
There you go.
Anthony will be.
I'm
here
glad to
some
do it.
time,
Something
but
that I
I don't
enjoy,
think it's
so.
realistic. Eventually, you'd just be
You would just be sick of us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
High fat Mets play.
High fat Mets ball. What? Okay, it's
High fat.
Yeah,
fat?
this was very frustrating.
My new
but
name's
I
Fat.
agree with this. This was very frustrating.
Fans that care. They win
You
or
didn't even
lose.
spell
Yeah, of
lose
course.
right.
I think Mets fans. I think Mets fans care a lot, and it gets scary.
yeah.
Yes.
Into where players and a lot of people are getting their lives threatened. But it's
Jeez,
intensity.
Anthony, you really asking the hard-hitting questions.
That's a great
That's a
question.
tough one, honestly.
I mean, Frank's immortal, so I think I'm gonna go to the World Series just because
Pass.
Frank has lived for millions
I'll
of years.
pass on that question for a sec. I don't know.
The Raiders might
Figure it out.
kill the guy with the bat first.
Yeah, the Raiders will kill the guy with the bat.
If none of my 4 teams have killed me already, I am fucking immortal.
No, it's gonna happen because Derek Carr is gonna pull he's gonna fluke his way into the playoffs just to die to Justin Herbert in a 54-12 game, and then you're gonna.
Derek Carr already died.
I mean, yeah,
2016, he already died.
Stay on
Alright,
topic, folks. Stay
all
on
three.
topic. Yeah, no, probably. I mean, it's not looking like. Yeah, I mean, if
The
we
last
could
time-
if we could make a trade for a mascot, who would it be?
Oh, it's the Fanatic, 100%.
Last
Oh.
year, I thought it would be.
I mean, I would
Brooklyn,
trade for
but
Brett Gardner,
now,
the
I
Yankees
don't know.
mascot.
I'm gonna.
Might be
The
Yankees.
Yankees mascot, Brett Gardner. I'd trade for him.
Yeah, we've been saying this for a week now. That's why we haven't been as maybe as raged as you guys would hope, slamming things and yelling and cursing, whatever. It's because we've been through so much. You know,
8.
like we're just used to it.
Yeah.
At this point. That's the sad part. We really are just used to it.
But when we're here, it's a special time. It is. We choke like 07. No team will ever compare to 07.
You
I
had
don't
the
think
first
any
part right.
team
His
will.
dream girlfriend is Michael Conforto. So
Yes, it looks like Michael
Dylan,
Conforto.
Listen, he looks good in a wig.
Thrilled watching that absolute disaster yesterday. I was loving every second of it. I was just laughing.
But wait a
World.
minute. But now you're cheering for him because you're cheering for the Mariners.
I'm cheering for the Mariners, but for him to do terrible. They win despite him.
Yes, sir.
Bring the chicken for talking.
Hey, you know what?
No, I wonder. I mean, maybe does he go in some kind of like?
I mean, like I love Cowbell, man, but like, I don't know
you know
about
who
that.
needs to be fired is Horn Man. Every time there's a 3-ball count with the opposing pitcher.
Okay, no, we're not doing this.
That I was getting annoyed by that.
Dude, I love that shit. It was pissing my dad off for the first game.
It was brutal with Blake Snell. It was like every at bat we're getting a horn just blaring.
So that should be a good thing. So, like my dad was saying, like, "What's up with the damn saxophone?" Then it became a troll. Like, sound the sax.
You don't put an LOL at the end of that.
No, I will find you
Like,
and I will kill you.
Taylor Rogers maybe Matt Olson's not available for another like 13 years.
No, 13 years, but Taylor Rogers, I don't know.
Yeah, the Beltron, that was the staple. That was the staple in misery.
Yeah,
it really was.
That was the most
It really
I've
was,
ever been. Nothing will ever be worse than that.
The talk of it was just like, we'll be back. We'll be back. They never really got back.
They never got back.
No, because all those guys were gone from that team. The only person left was
they never got back. And like, yeah.
Whatever the hell Joely Rodriguez is doing right now.
Pretty much, yeah. You can't be worse.
I'm taking a flyer on Corey Knebel. That's what I'm doing.
You're still tuning that horn.
Yeah.
I'm tooting the Brad Hand. Bring him back.
Brad Hand.
Yeah. I'd rather just focus on Judge.
I'm excited. I am excited to see John Curtis
I'd rather focus
next year.
Why is
relievers,
Dansby Swanson up like so?
I am excited to see John Curtis next year. I think he's going to be one of those guys.
Hopefully he slows his velo.
I like him.
He slows his velo.
No, I'm not touching any of the Dodgers
Is Tyler
starters.
Anderson available next year?
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal.
Oh,
$6 million bucks. Yeah, $6 million.
I want to be that team that fixes these players, not the one that picks up the ones that were amazing with that team. Because I want to be the ones that fix.
Well, I mean, the thing that we talked about earlier, we have other than Otto, we haven't really fixed anybody or developed anybody. I mean, it's just been tough.
Next year, Anthony. Yep, we'll be waiting.
There's always next year.
And there's always a chance that the Earth just dies.
Sorry. But my concern I had with Buck, that it still is the same concern now. Whatever he does as a manager, hopefully he wins a World Series, but if they make the playoffs every year, great. At his age, if we're being realistic about it, he isn't going to be here all that long. So before you know it, we are going to be having another managerial search. So
did you get some medical records about him, or is that just saying like he's not going to be here?
What happened to La Russa?
That's
well,
true.
he's a drunk. Well, he's a drunk, so it doesn't help.
It's just
well, that kind of helped with me stabbing him in his appendix, but that's just kind of my side.
His appendix.
I'm just saying, when you look at history, every coach, every manager, they all have that age where they're like, okay, I'm done now. And then they end up, that's it. Maybe it's when his contract expires. Wait, sign a 3-year deal, 4-year deal?
I think it was a 3.
I'm not too on Buck
so what I'm getting at is that what I wanted them to do in the offseason was hire a bench coach that was going to be your next manager once Buck does step down. At least so you're ready to be prepared. Whereas in a couple years from now, we're just getting in this whole managerial search again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will say about Buck, there's a reason why I'm not really full on all on him. I mean, he's made tons of questionable moves in my but I'm not full on him because I think it's more of just the reflex of, well, he's better than Mickey Callaway.
No,
he's better than Luis Rojas. He's better than this. He's actually experienced compared to these other guys who are rookie managers. So That was kind of my thought of it.
Yeah.
But you know what? The trend has been that once he leaves, we win the World Series. So you know what?
Yeah.
Fire his ass.
No, why not? You know,
So.
why not push some narratives? Why not?
And this is the issue too. It's like there isn't. You know, like I mean,
Bring back our undefeated
there's
manager.
there's not many that would handle the scrutiny
that Buck went
if this
through,
team does. There is not many, and that's been one of the problems of the Mets. Kind of, it's just the bitterness. It really is. I mean, we talk about the Yankees front office all they want. They have success. They've built themselves into success. They've been a perennial contender. At the end of the day, I mean, but the Mets, it's been kind of a once in a lifetime type of thing, and we're hoping that it turns into something that isn't a once in a lifetime type of thing. And that's just what we're trying to look for. Maybe McNeil leads off. If Nimmo leaves, McNeil, I would totally be lead off.
Yeah,
fine, of course. Put the ball in play.
And Terry's a perfect example. I'm talking about with Buck. Like eventually, you get to the age where like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. You know?
Let Terry enjoy retirement. I'm also not really that happy with Terry right now with the whole thing he did with Harvey.
Yes, no,
that's why I'm not really. I lost a lot of respect for him.
Yes, that was bad.
He did an overall good job with a lot of the young players. That came through our farm system. But
I think what happened last night told us all we need to know about the bullpen. The fact that Diaz came out for that second inning of work while having the 5-run lead, how much Acevedo got pushed. We knew all along that they really only had 2 guys that they trusted. We knew that. And maybe Lugo, because they used him 3 days in a row.
I mean, he is right. David Peterson does suck. He is right.
Yes.
But
who else were they going to use? I mean, that was the problem.
Again,
and I think
Connor Gray was chilling. So.
I think this has been proven by if teams want to go to a lefty earlier in the game, Vogelback's done. He's out of the game. I mean, you may only get 5 innings out of him. That's not a suitable DH, especially if he could only play against right-handers as well. And they were saying on the broadcast that teams, like during the course of the regular season, as we were coming down the stretch, that they were purposely lining up a bunch of left-handed starters to face the Mets. I don't know if that was necessarily the case if they were doing that by design, but if teams theoretically want to do that, they could, and Vogelback is completely neutralized. It was, what was it, like the series in Oakland? He didn't play a single game, I think it was, right?
No, yeah, it was all rough Ventos.
Yeah, he didn't play a single game. So he has his limitations. He's not a suitable DH. Like Carson said, great bench bat. I would love to have him as a bench bat. But as the everyday DH, no.
I'm seeing too many. I'm seeing too many of the level of limitation that you had with JD Davis with him. I think that's kind of just what I'm seeing. You can't play the field.
Yeah. And this is a good point, Christopher. Like, it's just
again, if you keep him as the 13th man on your bench, you have other flexibility. Fine. If you have a bunch of Darren Ruffs, Ham, Ventos, Guillorme, and Nito, that's a problem.
Yeah.
This would be fun to try in a 10-run game if he wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Just for fun. It's like like we have Pujols pitch. It's just like, why not? You know?
I feel a lot more confident with Vogelbach as a sustainable player than I do with Dom. I can tell you that. So
because he's better than.
I'd love to. I want him back. I would love to have him back, but off the bench.
He'll be back. He's a bench. He's an option.
It has to be off the bench. It just can't be an everyday starter. It just can't.
And that's what Milwaukee used him for.
Yeah. Well, he's got years of control. So
he does have a years of control, and that's just how it is. I mean, that's been the deal with a lot of guys who aren't everyday players that we have, but they had to be everyday players because the other options just were not producing at all. I mean, Guillorme, he's not an everyday player. I hate to break it to you, everyone, but he's not. But Eduardo Escobar was not producing at all for a majority of this season. He wasn't producing. Rhino is not an everyday player, but James McCann's fucking stupid. So, you know.
Frank, what do you got?
No, I was going to say, I was like, would you consider JD Martinez, or he's too old, isn't he?
I would stay away.
That's same with Jose Abreu. Like, these guys, they're just
no, thank you. Like, I wanted the best bat available, but I also want the ability on, like, hey, I want to give Pete the day off, put him at DH, that I want him to, the DH that we get, to play a position. Left field, right field, third base, whatever.
Well, here's a post-game interview nugget that I just got on my phone.
Oh, God. This is terrifying.
Jacob DeGrom says he hasn't thought about his decision yet with the player option for 2023.
Bullshit. He's opting out.
But I think he's still going to opt out of it. But he's not thinking about the future right now. That's his main focus, what he's saying. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that definitely was terrifying with how many lefties the Dodgers had.
Yeah, that would have been a matchup. We would have been screwed either way.
He said, and I quote,
he'll be here
I'm not going to make a decision. I'm not going to discuss any of that. I still have no clue. That's what
You're just
said,
waiting for the postseason to be done, then you're going to make your announcement. Like, don't be A-Rod. I'm going to, right during the World Series, I'm opting out, assholes. Put the attention on me.
And also like Correa, where he's like, my last year in Houston, I want to make it special.
But, again.
Will Andrew's boy, Mitch Haniger, be available?
Probably not.
No.
I
mean, Trey Mancini is going to be out there again.
I was going to tweet this out, and I knew this was going to get probably a lot of reaction, but I didn't.
Oh, boy. What?
I was going to tweet this out, and we've talked about this before, but...
Who? Are you talking to me or both of us?
All of us. We've all talked about this before. But, like, in conclusion, I will say one thing. This was more of an off-season thing. I didn't want to take the focus off of the playoffs at all, so it was just a different type of discussion. I can't really think of, past the high free agents, I can't think of a better fit than Jock Peterson and the Mets. I can't think of a better fit.
Agreed.
I really can't.
Yeah.
Because we talked about like way early in the stream, we talked about like clutch players, big moment players, random guys that maybe aren't in your starting line that can just come in and just be a spark. Jock has done that for multiple organizations.
Yeah.
And he's, we talk about,
so much better than Tyler Naquin.
He can't hit lefties. For his career, he's still a 110, 115 bat against them.
And
so
if you build a bench that's actually good against lefties, you could have Jock.
And the thing is, he doesn't cost your, $20 million, $30 million.
And he could play the outfield if you need him.
Yes.
If you need him.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But he
in
could.
An absolute emergency. Well, not even emergency, but just like he can. And you're much better chance that Jock can play the outfield than Ruff playing first base or Vogelback playing
and
first
even
base.
Marte every day. Playing every day.
You have that flexibility where it's like you give Jock a start, DH Marte. You could give Jock a start, DH Canada. Especially those are veteran guys that are going to be a year older. So like all the rest that Canada got, Marte didn't get quite as much as he probably should have, but they're going to need even more next year. So you have that option to do that.
I think it's a good fit personally.
And again,
the strikeouts have gone down throughout his career. He's not as selective as most of these guys in this lineup, but he's still able to give you quality.
We don't need any more of the guys we already have.
But he puts the ball in play. That's what I like about him.
We need guys who can lift and mash.
This is a good question. What was more fun, the starting pitchers or the lineup? It wasn't the bullpen. Bullpen was actually
was fine. Yeah, bullpen was fine.
The bullpen was the highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was I would have to say the lineup. The starting pitchers were disappointing, but I think the lineup was probably.
I'm gonna go with the starting pitcher.
I'm gonna go starters. Yeah, because it's Scherzer. That's your.
I know, but
the two workhorses could not get through 7 innings. They couldn't push as the workhorses that we thought they were. Jake, the man with the health concerns and everything, he went farther than both of them when we really needed him to. But I 3 innings of Bassett and what was it? 4 innings of Scherzer? 4 2/3, whatever.
Whatever it was, yeah.
That's not a workhorse type of outing. I can tell you that.
Nope.
I thought Naquin was going to stay, but the fact that he didn't make this playoff roster at any point.
Gone. Yeah, he's gone.
He's not coming back next year. And Ruff, I hope, isn't back. So I would say no on both, actually.
I'd say that in that condition.
Nimmo.
I would love to have Tyler Naquin in AAA.
Yeah, in AAA is fine. I'd say maybe like 20.
Take Jankowski's role. I'd take it.
$4 million on Nimmo. That's kind of what I'm looking at. It's like my high point.
What were you willing to pay Nimmo?
I was just saying on AAV stance, it's like 23, 24 million.
The highest I'm going for Nimmo is total value. It'd probably be 120. That would be the total. AV wise, 23, 24-ish.
Yeah.
That's the highest I'm going. That's pretty much it. And that's just with overpay, because you're going to have to overpay if you're bringing him back. You
Especially
know you're
if
going to
Lindor's
have to.
client.
I mean, even though Lindor showed his worth, again, like, you have to overpay. You know that it's going to look like an overpay in the end.
Here's one thing. I'm looking at this free agent thing. I want to say we talk so much at the deadline. You can't trade for a rental. You can't trade for a rental. All those rentals are going to be free agents now. So you could get any of those guys that you were looking at the deadline who you didn't want to get Mark Vientos, whatever, because we talked about all these guys. Josh Bell, Mancini, Contreras, JD Martinez, like all these guys are going to be available that we were talking about trade deadline season. They'll be free agents, so you can take your pick and not have to trade one of those prospects to get them.
So here we go. Full on raw. Let's ask this
Oh, boy.
question.
Oh, no.
Full on, right off the
Monday
top
Night
of
Raw.
your
What do we
head.
got? Oh, boy.
Right off the top of your head, the most likely player who's guaranteed to stay here that gets traded in the offseason. Because we have our free agents. We have those guys. Who gets dealt?
Tyler McGill.
David Peterson.
David Peterson is my number one.
Well, and if Dom Smith is still here, I think
Yeah,
he's probably a likely candidate.
I think Dom gets nom-tendered.
Dom gets
personally.
that. Yeah, he's definitely getting on.
I think he's just. I think we've. Canna?
No.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna want Canna.
No one wants McCann. No one wants McCann.
I wouldn't trade Canada. Because
Yeah,
I forgot,
wouldn't.
somebody said it about Nimmo. Canada. You know what I mean? Like, as crazy as it sounds, like, Canada's got a lot of his similarities to Nimmo. So I could see this if somebody really, really wanted him and the Mets paid some of the contract. I could see it.
Mets' future is screwed.
Stephen A. Smith. I like that.
Smith.
That happened a lot this year, Alex. It's not that funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It happened a lot. Judge, yes. I mean, JD Martinez, even though I wanted him this year, I wanted him for just this year because the age thing. You're looking at a multi-year contract at his age.
We're opening the can of words.
I'm like, you know what? I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with Josh Bell's use of the opposite field in this series. So if they wanted to, I'd at least consider it. He's at least on the radar for the offseason.
Can I throw a random player that no one's talking about?
We need random
for the DH.
Please do.
Just and this is strictly for DH.
He needs to be fat and have power, though.
He doesn't. He's not fat. He really isn't that great of a power hitter.
I don't want it. Then I don't want to hear it. Go fuck yourself.
What about Xander Bogaerts to the DH?
No, he's going to be marking himself as a shortstop. Absolutely.
That's an interesting one.
Like you could, if he's looking for the bag, that's just what he's looking for.
You're paying that for a DH?
I need offense. I don't care. Again, give me Judge, Bogaerts, Story, everybody.
That's a good point, Carson, because Bogaerts is probably still going to get.
And he's going to want shortstop money.
Yeah.
No matter how bad he is defensively,
he's
he still wants shortstop money.
Offers from other teams. So
because, like, I will say one thing: he could look in the range of what Seager got. Because they're similar in skill set.
Maybe more Semien.
Maybe.
I would say more Semien than Seager.
But still a lot of money for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, way more than you should pay a strict.
God, this class behind Judge and Nimmo is just.
It's ass. If you're not looking for a shortstop.
Yeah, like I mean, so we talked about. I mean, let Nimmo walk. You put Trey in center. Like, he's fast.
He's fast, but he's got a noodle, so he fills the Nimmo role.
But good batting average.
But good batting average.
And will actually
he's kind of
steal bases.
And Sean, you're not the one Padres fan.
You're not the one.
There's
been plenty, but I appreciate it.
All good.
You guys played a good series.
No, I hope Alvarez is starting catcher, Fletch. That's the
thing. There's more value in him behind the plate than DH.
Yeah, correct. And he's got a stronger arm than the McCann.
That's debatable. We haven't seen it. No catcher's assist.
If McCann had such a strong arm, then why has he not hit any dingers? If it's such
He's
strong
hit
arm,
a couple
he's not hitting
dingers.
dingers.
Did you not see him the last game, 2 games of the season? That man was raking.
First base McCann.
First base McCann. He's playing the wrong position.
He's gonna
He's
do
division
great
now.
at first base in AAA next year.
No, he'll
Does
play
Givens
third base.
come back? I don't think so.
As far as
I
who
would
I'm
say
rooting
no.
for, or who do I think is going to win? Because I still lean Dodgers against just about anybody in the National League.
I think the Dodgers are. If
Yeah,
they don't win, it's a disappointment.
This is an interesting one. Do you bring Givens back?
If he wants less than that, I'd bring him back if he
it's
wants a
got to be
cheap deal.
really,
but-
really low money.
He's getting the Ottavino contract tops of what we gave Ottavino.
Yeah, like if you want
Even I'm going lower.
1 year, $4 million. That's what you
one,
get.
yeah, one.
Take it
couple,
or leave it.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yep.
Not even an option. 1 year, $4 million. Go fuck yourself. If you don't want
And
it.
I think I
Otto's
would.
just old.
I
No,
think he's too old. And that last game
Otto's
gave me a
just
very bad. I didn't like
that. I think somebody will overpay because of that great season.
Yeah, and it might be an Aaron Loop situation where Loop had this like amazing year. Somebody gave him a crazy 3-year deal. He doesn't. Ottavino will not be as good next year as he was this year. Everybody knows that.
Whatever, I will say that it's either Otto retires or the next deal that he gets will be the last one he has.
Yep. And he should be looking for that one last check, and then
With the Phillies.
If he goes to the Phillies, no one on this Mets team is hitting that slider. So
oh yeah, nobody hitting that.
Lost. All right. It definitely was very weird. We'll talk about one last time. It definitely was very weird, especially that Buck won those baseballs thrown to the side, the whole wiping with the arm. But I think it all comes down to you could have won game 1 and other pitchers came in after him. You could have done better and not give up 6 runs. So, Musgrove was one thing, but there was a lot of reasons why the Mets lost. So it was more than just that. But it was weird for sure. Alvarez is supposed to be that guy.
Yeah.
That's what we've
We
been
hope
hyping
he
him up
is.
for. Number 1 prospect of baseball. He's got to be
No.
that guy. Even
Uh,
Carson.
No.
I mean,
The answer is
Say no
no.
walks. Can't walk batter. Say no.
If
No.
he wants to develop his control in AAA, sure. But I
Yeah,
don't
the
think he
minor
wants
league deal.
that.
Okay, fine.
Finally.
I will say
Okay.
one thing: the Yankees.
Yeah.
This would be a good bench piece because at least he has some kind of.
This
versatility.
could replace Ruff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could.
I would love to replace Ruff with Drury, who again did absolutely
could.
nothing in the series. I told you he's overrated, but he is much better than Drury.
This man is living on that fucking autograph.
He's not good.
Brandon
Like
Drury-
they traded the number 8 prospect or number 7 prospect. He isn't good. It was
Bro,
all
they're going to the
fluke.
play. They're
It
going
was
to the World
all
Series.
Great American Small Park, low leverage fluke. That's all
He
it
hits
was.
fly
He's a great
balls. I
pinch
don't
hitter. though.
care.
He did do well for the Mets as a pinch hitter, so he would serve that role well. But
I was
he
kind
also
of
took a job
disappointed
for a
the
week
Mets
because he was swinging a hot bat. So
with
that
Darren
also,
Ruff.
also love him
With
for that.
Darren Ruff and how they were kind of going on the veteran side. I was a little disappointed the Mets didn't pick up a flyer on Jesus Aguilar.
He's too fat. We got enough fat guys, Mets fan. Jesus.
I think Judge stays. I hope he doesn't. That's the way I look at it.
Excuse me.
Not as
Giants.
a Padre. This last month, he wasn't good. No. A lot of money.
A lot of money that's going to be Atlanta Brave.
Drury,
This
just
was
getting
interesting.
Drury is kind of the
This was
same level of the letdown we got with Ruff at the trade deadline, though. I will say
He's the
that.
same guy. He was here like a grand slam first game, and then it was like
Nothing.
Drew
not
dog.
something afterwards. He's not trade a top 10 prospect worthy.
No.
I'll at least leave it at that. He's just
No.
overrated.
But that's AJ Preller for you, bro. Fuck them kids.
And he will forever be a free agent. Unfortunately.
The fan
Sadly.
base is the fan base is fascination with this dude. I can't.
It's the same way with Vogelbach. It's fat equal like.
yeah, but Vogelbach's actually a good person.
Is he though, or is he
Bartolo
just fat?
Colon is a loser. He's an awful human being. But hey, funny fat guy.
Yes, pretty much.
Which Met fans love it if you haven't noticed.
You haven't noticed, funny fat guy.
This is an interesting comparison. I didn't think of it like that, but
I think Scherzer's established more, so it kind of hurts a little bit more than
Yeah.
Garrett Cole. But I'm not a Yankee fan. I could care less, to be honest.
yes, no, I mean that is fair. Like Soto was not as good so far, has not been as good as they traded for. That's a good point. And
But
Josh
he's
Hader,
got only
I
way.
mean,
He's only
Josh
going to
Hader
go
had
up.
his tough times that one portion of the season. So
He did.
And now he's back being Josh Hader, and I'm right again.
no, this is really bad. no, Carson's not a Bartola fan.
Yeah, he doesn't like fat people.
No, I just think he's an awful person.
Dude,
what
we've
he's
gone
done
for
off the
2
field.
hours. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, people are asking questions, so
they're asking questions. They want to know.
I mean, what else are we gonna do? Watch the Mets?
I mean, there's other things to
He pitched
do.
1 inning in a 6-0 game.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, couple strikeouts or 1 strikeout.
I mean, didn't he almost lose the closer role at one point? It was getting so bad. I mean, I'm sure the Padres fans could tell us, but he had that one.
Padres fans, give us some
big
info.
leads, just it was a mess.
Dude, who let Francisco Alvarez out of his cage? Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's my dog. I'll
Good
never
dog,
watch
though.
the game again.
If you paid me a lot of money, I would rewatch it.
Could we rewatch?
This is a good last question. Everybody get your last questions in, but this
Fire the last couple. Yeah.
How many pieces is it? It's
To
more
what?
than one.
Oh, it's more than one. Yeah.
It's more than one. Yeah.
Stay tuned to Mets Weekly all offseason to find out.
Pretty much, we'll give you those.
I mean, if you want the specific positions.
I did not see this, but thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Dude, who cares?
Once it became 4-0, I lost faith.
Yeah.
I lost faith when they got.
I'm sure you do,
by the
Sean. Good
Cubs.
luck against the Dodgers. Good night, man.
Have fun.
What else? How much TSP plays? Yes. No, that certainly is a that's certainly a problem because a lot of guys are going to go in free agency, and then it's like, oh my god. And you're gonna have to. You're gonna no matter what, you're gonna be spending money, whether it's to retain your guys or bring in new guys. You're gonna be spending a lot of money. You're not gonna get it from within. Thank you for watching, Anthony. Oh wow. Dang. Oh, I think we blocked it.
Jesus Christ! How many times is that? Is that like 4?
Dude,
Bams?
we need love. You know what? It's all
Find
about
love.
that.
You're not going to find it with the Mets. So.
Hey, I can't be a distractor for a couple days, so it's okay.
For those of you that are in here, like
Appreciate
the stream, that'd be cool. If you don't want to subscribe, we're forcing you to do it anyway. So might as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but there's not much you can control, my friend. Even though they are the Astros, bitch. I think that's the only thing you can.
We appreciate the support, Red Horse. Thank you for watching. Pretty much the whole stream. I feel like you were in here. So
Yeah, he was here the whole time,
man. You're falling asleep with us as a lullaby here.
Oh yeah, it's. I wouldn't say it's harder. It's probably easier to root for the Yankees. You're just like 27 rings. There you go. There's personality.
I find a lot of trash talk being tired, to be honest. I'll tell you right now. Like I can't roast any other fan base because the fan base I'm a part of
hates each other.
God, it's just so There's no team I hate more than the Mets. I can tell you that. No team I love more than the Mets. It's just a love-hate relationship because they've created it that way in 60 plus years. I've only been alive for 30%, 33% of that.
So we'll stay on for like 5 more minutes. So last check-in questions, and then we will hop off here. And
no one in your family likes baseball except for you. Well, baseball is a magical game.
Well, at this point, it feels like they made the right decision because this has been more pain than happiness.
But,
yeah, pretty much.
I've seen worse Mets seasons.
Of course, yes.
Seen
Obviously,
worse.
we all have. Frank's
I mean, by the record, this is one of the greatest Mets years of all time.
Always, yeah. That's what the memes are gonna be. God damn, it's gonna be fun. 771 days until they play them.
Start the countdown.
Countdown.
I can't wait till spring training because there's not going to be any stress. There won't be any stress.
What do you think Steve Cohen's thinking?
Dude, he's like, how much money am I really about to pay Aaron Judge this offseason? That's what he's thinking. I want him to go full freaking.
I will tell you one thing.
What?
Steve Cohen's going to sleep right now. That's what he's doing.
No, he's a Mets
He's a
fan. He's
busy
like
man.
all of us. No, he's like all of us. He's a Mets fan.
Yeah, he's in the chat right now.
He's in the chat. What's up, Steve?
What's up, Steve? What's going on? Oh,
So,
hey, it hurts for a few hours, but I guess we'll get over it eventually.
wait, I
That's it.
totally forgot. We played a baseball game today. We've been doing this dumb shit. I forgot we even played.
We
a
have
baseball
not
game.
played a base. It's now past midnight for us at least.
Oh, it's 11:30
For you, you're living in the past. You weirdo.
I'm living in an alternate reality. Like, ooh.
I think we'll let it go to the 2-hour mark. Then we'll
So you guys will
we'll wrap it
take
up here.
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Get any thoughts? Anything that you guys
and
let us
I guess
know.
do you want us to break down our future content? And Frank, if you've got anything you want to break down before now that's off season time.
Well, now we could more so look at guys that's like, okay, these are the guys Mets should target, guys Mets should get rid of. Definitely gonna be looking at stuff like that. But that's probably gonna be the main focus, and then reacting to all the signings, not just by the Mets, but if there's big moves like in other teams make, react to that as well.
We don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know if that's even going to happen. I can tell you that.
Cost too much.
You don't know.
You don't pay a reliever an insane amount of money when you have so many other problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If it was the only problem or only solution, okay, makes sense. You could give him the money because you're perfect everywhere else.
We wouldn't be here without him, though. I will tell you that we wouldn't be here without him. But hey, he was bad in 2019.
He was.
He went out in the first round too. So
I really don't know, to be honest.
I actually do have some insight on how Steven Matz feels about being in St. Louis because I did see him a couple times down here. He doesn't miss New York, according to him. He's like, I'm perfectly fine in Missouri.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I mean, you can tell. You can tell.
It was tough here.
He had a tough time.
He did fall asleep in his truck for 2 hours.
I will tell you this. I think at the moment, and this is all just off of recency bias, I think the farthest you go would be the mutual option. The $19 million 1 year.
And that's why it was attached when he did the arbitration is, hey, you've got a $19 million option. That's all we're going to give you. Take it or leave it. Because you don't do that in most arbitration cases.
But, I love Bassett though. I don't think tonight really defines what type of pitcher he is, but boy did it suck. Boy did it suck tonight. Needed a lot more. I mean, if he would, the farthest I go would probably be like a 2-year type of thing. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
1-1 maybe,
Did you guys like the new playoff one? I didn't. I actually enjoyed it to an extent. I mean, I didn't like my team enjoying it, but I kind of liked waking up at 11 o'clock and having baseball. I think
the entertainment value was good of just kind of having baseball all day, stuff like that.
Let's see. So, I guess I'll plug my stuff while we go to that 2-hour month. There's a video that's been in the works for about a month now. That me and this tub. Well, I don't know what much this tub's going to work on it, but
see,
kind of rewriting since Sandy Alderson is most likely or obviously gone now, especially now the season's over and they're going to be a new president of baseball ops. Kind of rewriting history a little bit and rewriting his first time, meaning to 2018 Brody Cano deal after whatever, just kind of fixing what could have been the original Sandy Ball era coming soon, and then obviously. Hockey, most of the stuff I made on the second channel is probably all going to come back. Rhino Hour is going to get revamped to an extent as well. But obviously, all-season content, top 10s, offers, what could be trade options, all like I usually do. The fun stuff that I'm known for will be
back. Well, since we did join ESM, it was kind of like in the middle of, what was it, around June-ish, something like that.
Right before the All-Star break.
We haven't really established much of a formula of content that we have, and I think that we'll get more of an answer on that during the off-season. So stay tuned for that. Still have 2 more parts of the regular season grades, which I guess it's regular season plus 3 games now. Go ahead.
Good night. All right.
But hey, we're back for another year next year, so don't worry. Well, money has a part in it, but I will tell you that. But yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll end it off here, guys. Disappointing way to end the season, but I will say that there was a lot of highlight moments. There was a lot of. It was better than last year. I can tell you that. It was better than last year, and hopefully,
and it was better than 2019. Also better than 2019.
It was better than 2019. So for the 2019 believers, you suck, and you're delusional. Fuck you. But yeah, that's it.
Nice.
On to the offseason. There's tons of stuff coming out, and that's pretty much it. EmpireSportsMedia.com for all the New York sports needs, not just baseball. All the links are in the description to follow us individually, not just all three, but also Tony, who could not join us tonight. And also more content coming the way. Just because the season is over does not mean that is over. So look out for that. And for those of you who are new, make sure to subscribe, put on the post notifications. If you're a Mets fan, this is the place to be. If you're still here, if you were here on the playback, this is where you need to be. Because we love to hear the opinions of all Mets fans in the comment section and in live chats. Another season down the drain. It's over. Sell the team once again. But other than that, memorable season that ended disappointing. But other than that, we'll see you guys next time. LFGM. Yeah, that's it. See you guys.